I'm Primal Piggy. Thank you for joining me for another BDSM United podcast. Today, we're going to talk about a myth uh, that sometimes pops up in our culture. The myth says to give a kink, you must first receive that kink. There are people pushing the must give before you can receive ideology in our lifestyle. What this means is a top, the person doing or giving the kink, must first experience a kink before they can give and fully understand that kink to a bottom. That would be okay if the person, this top, was into receiving that kink, which is not always the case. With this teaching, people are disregarding that tops have limits and a right to not consent to specific kinks. It just disregards that tops themselves may have different kinks than that of their bottom. A top doesn't need to personally experience receiving a kink before giving or doing that kink to a bottom. They can do research, they can go to a class, attend a demo, they can watch videos, they can ask experienced kinksters to teach them, or watch a scene at an event or a dungeon. I want to add that, as part of the research, a lot of things can be taught in books, and sometimes it's not even things that are related to kink specifically that can be good teachers for you. Like there are associated different books on things like leadership and whatnot that may inform aspects of presenting dominance or presenting different role plays within a scene. This overall discussion has gone as far as saying that if a top does not first experience a kink before they give it, that is somehow a cause for alarm or a sign of a fake person, or even that it is a red flag. Personally, we don't see it as a red flag, um, because if you don't honor a top's limits and you try to force kinks on them without their consent, with threats that they aren't really trustworthy to scene or play with, then that is a red flag to us. That's like telling a masochist that they have to give someone pain in order to receive it. Some might be totally okay with that. Others would be horrified at the idea and probably couldn't go through with it. If you're into or okay with receiving a kink, then by all means, experience it for yourself as well. Learn from it and then give it to the bottom in your scene. Forcing someone or teaching that this is a must, it's just not okay. It's not what BDSM is about. Now, personally, my body isn't the same gender or likeness as my submissive. There are things that I will do to her that I simply cannot do to myself. My body parts don't match hers, and the ones that do often feel or translate senses differently. Also, our pain tolerances are different. Really, just the logic falls apart fast. I'm Primal Piggy. Thank you for joining me for this short episode today, this short podcast on dispelling this myth that in order to give a kink or to be a top for a kink, that you somehow have to experience that kink as a bottom. Uh, and that's totally a myth on so many different levels. Uh, you can find all of our resources at www.bdsmunited.com. Thanks for joining us today. It has been a joy bringing this topic to you. Helping just dispel myths is a great part of running a podcast, as it helps just free up a lot of people. There's someone out there that's going through the pressure of trying to have a kink done to them or have kinks done to them, and they're limiting their potential for what they can give to others. Oftentimes, I give things to my submissive that I don't want done to me. It's just things that I don't personally enjoy myself, not on the receiving end, but I'm perfectly okay with giving them. Uh, it's been a joy speaking with you today, and I'll talk with you again soon.